Greetings, conscious breathers, infinite beings alike, breath family. So a random person just, Azzy, I do not know you. What's going on? Just wanted to come on here and should have titled this. It was going to be Levels of Peace, because when I arrived here, apparently my bag was nowhere to be found. And for some reason, the past few days, there's a weird sensation of peace. Like I told all my close friends I was talking to, it was like, I don't even know how to describe it either. It's the Egypt after effect, or I like to say the Kemet after effect, or just a point in my life where I've gotten to just peace, and it's really undescribable. And looking at my old self, arrogant, ignorant, full of himself back in the day, I would act totally different. I didn't want to even breathe too much life into it, but it was really funny. Even today, Naira and Kush, it was like the first time they've seen me drive, and they're like, whoa. And I was like, well, back in the day, I used to race, drive fast cars, all that stuff, and just know you're in safe hands. I know the way that I drive is kind of like wild, but you're in safe hands. And I got them to try out the Rife machine. That was really cool, and the light therapy. Before tomorrow's event, which is being hosted by Center for Higher Self here in Wynwood, Miami. If you are in the area, come along, because losing my bag, it was very interesting. In the bag, it's the Nile River, and I wanted to utilize the Nile River, and I don't think I will talk about what I learned from the Nile in public for so many obvious reasons, but the Nile has taught me a lot, and witnessing what I saw with my own two eyes with the Nile, and how the pyramids were used, and how that brought the water down into Aswan, going up the Nile, and seeing what it actually did with my own two eyes, beyond all these theories and all that stuff. Seeing it with your own two eyes, just, if you have a certain library, certain things will start to make sense, and from there you can form your own basis, versus all these theories you see online and all that stuff. Ain't nothing like actually going to the place, breathing in the atmosphere for yourself, walking barefoot on ancient land, and connecting with certain memories within the water in itself, the atmosphere, the people, how the aura would have a connection with the environment. Every place you go to, environmental wise, it has its own consciousness. And as soon as I landed, my pyramids were vibrating. Like, so many other interesting factors happened, but it showed me that the closer I got to the actual pyramids, it was definitely resonating with one of the biggest pyramids of them all, right? Now the biggest, that's Bosnia, so I'm really curious to how I'm going to feel when that happens next year. But going back to the main topic, that sense of peace. And I was in the sauna the other day with Tyler, and we were talking about that peace. And it was like we were saying, one cannot navigate the work until they actually do the work. Right? You have to do the inner work to really navigate the work. You can't just second guess the work. You can't just you can't just have last minute decisions or indecisive decisions when doing the work. And what is the work? The work is feeding, pushing, integrating what is actually helping you grow. That is the work. That's the real work of life. Honoring the things that help you grow, and it may formulate to different artistic expressions of life that we may have different perceptions of. But on the main basis of the energetic resonance of what is, it's just pure growth. And how you integrate it, it's all up to you at that point. Yes, the water is living. I drink Kangen water, provide machines to people. Yeah, Kangen is okay. The easiest water to program is distilled water. Always remember that. I actually put that in the mental breath work. We're on week number 6. And one of the highlights is utilizing water, not to drink, not to to do other stuff with. And I share what I learned with the Nile, and moving forward. I had Naira in here, and I showed her what I learned from the Nile, especially with the bowls. And you could feel the difference, because water has memory, and we're mainly filled with water, right? So the mirror neurons within water itself is alive, especially when it's structured a certain way. And our bodies will read that instantaneously. So, it would have been nice, would have been beautiful to utilize the Nile River in what we're doing tomorrow. But going to my friend's house, John, he actually has water from Mount Shasta. So I can go on and on to how somehow my bag just caused so many different ripples into tomorrow's event, which is very interesting, because it wasn't like I was fretting over like, oh, I lost my bag, blah, 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 this and that. It was even like my headbands, like most of my headbands was in there too. And they were new ones. I'm sure some of you have seen even the Cantonese one that I was wearing. Brand new headbands in there. And then I go to No Choice. I'm like, wait a minute, wouldn't it be nice to have functional headbands? A lot of people ask me, is there anything in my headbands? Because sometimes I would wear tensor rings inside here too. There's like pockets in here you can put tensor rings in, and triskelions and stuff, and crystals if you want. But honestly, it would be cool if we have another collaboration with headbands. So you see how the bag, I don't know, something about the bag. That bag, it's like when you lose stuff, it just opens a bigger door for expression of turning nothing into something, literally. And it really pushes you into that paradigm of awareness. And part of me, I've been homeless before, so it's like, maybe that's also another key factor, because I know what it's like to literally have nothing at all. Nothing at all. Literally nothing. So at the end of the day, those are things, right? So maybe that sense of peace, it's still hard to just articulate and try to make sense of it. And I'm just sharing what I'm feeling right now. It's not that I'm even trying to make sense of it. I'm just sharing how just that one little thing had a huge ripple. Like the pyramid tomorrow, right? The pyramid that is coming tomorrow it's literally a big PEMF device, and We're going to do so many things with it tomorrow. So placing the scalers, I'm bringing the orgone table, so many things I've yet to even try out. I'll be trying out at this event tomorrow. So super pumped, super pumped. Peace, pure consciousness. What's going on, sister? And it was actually earlier today, Jen, my partner, she gets a call, and she's in the Philippines right now. She gets a call, and they said, they have your bag. I don't know why they called me. So that's a frustrating part, too. I'm like, why are you calling her? And apparently they lost the tag. So I'm happy that we ended up finding the bag, like we located it. It's actually in Germany right now, which makes no sense. If I'm coming off a plane and I'm going to another layover, my bag should follow me. It, like, you know I'm going on this flight, so why are you not putting my bag on the next flight? Make it make sense. So that's like the frustrating part of it. But at the same time, it's like, hey, we have your bag. And apparently the tag was just gone. So something within that bag had Jen's name on it or number, and I'm just thankful that we ended up finding the bag. And that was today, and it's been like 4 days. 4 long days. What's a quick breathing technique for hunger cravings on a long fast? If you're new to my page, you should know that everyone is different. Not everything is going to work for everyone. That's why I built Alchemy Breathwork the way I did. So there's numerous of surplus of different taste for different styles of breathing. That way, because one style of breathing may honestly be boring for somebody. Let's be real here. And that boring factor, it plays a heavy thing in your subconscious, especially honoring the fact that we live in the society that we live in these times, right? So it's also very actually healthy to have new environment. And how do you mimic that new environment? Anytime you go to a new environment, your breathing changes, right? So, these styles of breathing have been helping people in mental facilities, prison, including, I've been part of stories where people were wrongfully prisoned, and, their family members have shared some of these breathing practices with them, and it helped tremendously, right? So breath is the foundation. Breath is the number one thing that resides in all dimensions of reality. And even when one says getting to rainbow body, you don't need to breathe anymore, right? But in essence, what is light? Light is fractals going back and forth, right? What is breath? There's an inhale and an exhale. That's a fractal in itself. All it is really contrast. We call it inhale, exhale, but what it really is, it's contrast. It's contrast. So whenever I hear this is how you can really tell who's who. Whenever I hear people saying that, oh, you don't need to breathe, breath is not this, breath is not that, it's low-key contradicting. It really is. Curious how you are traveling with do your own research. If you do your own research, you'll see that you don't need certain stuff to go to certain countries. So that's all I'm going to say to that. Just do your own research. People keep it. I'm like, it's only a Google away. Literally, it's a Google away. such a Google away. Did being homeless help start your spiritual journey? No, being born started my spiritual journey. But no, reality though, it was definitely a beautiful catalyst for sure, especially losing everything to a business partner at that time. I literally had to sell my laptop for gas money. And at that point in time, I was like this close to driving all the way back to Jersey until I met my Sifu mentor at the time next to the Bruce Lee statue around that community center. If you guys know LA, you know which community center I'm talking about. And yeah, spent time under a real monk that I've seen his hair change from white to black. And Angel, I'm sure you guys seen one of the legends in jiu-jitsu, Angel. He acknowledges he's also heard of that. So he's one of the few people I've actually ever met that knows like what I'm talking about in terms of that energetic presence. Thank you, BU, truthful, compassionate, contrast mirror. Right back at you, Light Bash. I like to say, it's funny you said, so Light Bash says, be you, truthful. I personally like to say, be you till full. You get what I'm saying? Be you till full. All right, I'm reading these questions. We are locked in our country. We can't get out. Oh, where are you from? Are you in Australia? Kundalini raising breath techniques. There's a bunch. You still drink OJ from time to time or not anymore? When I was in Egypt, when I broke my 15-day, no, it was technically, 15-day dry, or I like to say full pranic mode, it was guava juice, because their guava is so smooth. Like you've never seen guava like that ever. So if you go to Egypt and you're not in full pranic mode, go for the guava. I'm like, it's funny, like I become more like, I can taste different water and, I can tell what is what, You can say I'm a water connoisseur, but it's not that. It's because your taste buds just has such a refined intelligence. It builds. It really builds. Like when I was on more acid foods, like 10 years ago, I never liked strawberries until like the healthier I got, in a sense. I love strawberries. Shoot, I'd even drink the juice. That will happen, and it'll show you how much acid is built up in your body, especially if you're someone that is like, oh, I don't like fruits, or I don't have this. I'm like, yeah, that's, you could say it's a parasite inside you. That is like, it's like a vampire just not liking the sun type of thing. So think of it that way. What's your best advice for dry fasting during Ramadan? Prayer. And at that point, it's not truly fasting, because there's a difference between fasting and pranic living. Some people say I would be dry fasting at certain points here and there, but in actuality, not really, because during those times, I'm still, even right now as we speak. I'm doing quantum breathing as we speak, and we go about that in Breath Family a lot, and utilizing certain attributes in social settings. So when I do Bread Dojo, and everyone says that, oh, I'm on a liquid fast, I'm doing this and that, I'm not surprised, because everyone who's actually been doing and building up that frequency, like, it's not me pushing anybody. And that's actually one of the main things we use for the subliminal breath work for fasting. On that I don't know, I think it was the 4th Breath Dojo. Everyone and their mother that came in for those breath dojos were fasting. It wasn't like I announced that, hey everyone, let's fast and let's do this. Everyone intuitively did that. Everyone was on point. And you can ask anyone that's in Breath Family, that's been in Breath Family for over a year and actually been doing the practices, integrating it in their everyday life beyond the sit-down meditation and all that stuff. Integrating. And when you're integrating, look at this. When you're integrating these practices in real world situations, you're building a muscle. There's an invisible subconscious muscle that you are building and finally pushing against subconscious programming that, society likes to keep people in. You are literally a walking glitch. I've never said that publicly, but yes, that is my hidden agenda. Being a walking glitch in real time, beyond going to a yoga studio, beyond going to this. Be a walking glitch and finally seeing the strings within what connects in many dimensions and ripples of reality as we know it. And those who has ears to hear, those who feel what I'm saying, they'll come. I had a whole bunch of marketers for some reason hit my inbox and say, hey, I love your message. I love what you're doing this, but you can make this better, this and that. I'm like, this isn't for everybody. This isn't for everybody. You can come to me saying that, oh, you can make X amount more money and this and that. It's not about that. You can have more exposure doing this and that. Most of what clientele I've seen, Breath Family, most of them have been coming from word of mouth, testimonials that will speak for themselves. That's the type of energy, like, I want to keep it as clean as possible as long as I'm in the social eye before I retire and start certifying people. So keeping it that way. Oh yeah, going back to the Ramadan question. Apologies. Yeah, so the difference between fasting and pranic living, and many religions, whether they realize it or not, especially if you're really deep into it, in a sense, pranic living is you're not sustaining. You're replacing your certain parts of what you may call food with different energy sources. Fasting, on the other hand, is just completely detaching and not replacing, in a sense. People who do Ramadan and actually are doing the prayers, and technically that is energy work. No matter how you look at it, it is energy work. So utilizing that, and I've had some Muslims a month ago before I left for Egypt, showed them breath work, and then they do breath work before reading whatever they're reading, and doing some of their prayers, and they feel a higher resonance of what they believe in. And that's why I love and respect any belief system, religion. If it works for you, it works for you. Who am I to say that this is that, this is this? You know, at the end of the day, there is truly one source that is giving us different truths, in a sense that it's creating those fractals. But one thing you can tie in all these, anything, any ancient texts, religions, such and such, is breath. And that's why I love coming into either even a monastery, a church, doing sessions like that. I've been privately invited to many different types of religions that love having me at their spaces. So when I see online people saying that New Age this, they don't know that I've actually been into churches. They don't know that I've actually been into like monk temples and stuff like that, and actually been invited to share some things, stuff like that. You know, I don't, yeah, but that's that. So I laugh so hard, because that's how you see people that just waste energy just judging this, this and that. It's different in real life. It's different in real life. It's so different. We see a lot of Taylors turning into Karen. I've been meditating lately, and I want to know, is that the way to connect to source through breathing? Yeah, breath in itself, how you breathe is a meditation. How? Because how you breathe is how you manifest. Right? And what is meditation? Meditation in its purest form is a single focus, right? So you go through everyday life, and meditation isn't just sitting down, close your eyes, let me breathe. Meditation is your whole entire life. Meditation is manifestations of your life. Because no matter what you go through in life, what's that one constant? You're the constant. You are the main constant. And if sitting down and being still, you know, it somewhat makes your mind narrow. If you feel like that's it. And just like when they asked Buddha, hey Buddha, what did you learn sitting down in meditation? He said, absolutely nothing. And that goes into a whole story. I'm going to leave that for another live. But going back to the essence of peace, right? So, you know, utilizing stuff in real time, in real world applications. And I think either was it Lao Tzu or even Buddha himself was saying that, you know, the real work is beyond when you're sitting down meditating. It's what are you know, being the best human, basically. That's like the most integrative, basic thing I can really summarize, at least the Buddha aspect in his stories and stuff like that, into how he views meditation into life. Yeah, and if you don't want to join Breath Family yet, or you're still on the fence, or doing one-on-ones with me before I even retire, there is something on my YouTube called Breath Dojo. I released the first Breath Dojo. I think we have 6 Breath Dojos already. So you go in there, enjoy yourself. Go to my YouTube. It's on the playlist, Breath Dojo 1. And do it every 3 hours if you can. Or you can just do it once, do Breath Dojo part 1 for the day, and then Breath Dojo part 2. And just see if you can challenge yourself to actually spend a day and actually do every 3 hours and relive what everyone went through in that sense, because this is a type of breath work you can go on and on and on and on and on and have fun with. Divine Cosmic Energy says Breath Fam is 1000% worth it. Hey Divine, I don't think I know your name, but I'm happy to have you part of Breath Family. Yeah, Breath Family has over so much material wise, and we're still doing live sessions, but right now we're doing the mental breathwork journey. We're on week number 6 out of 10. And then after that, everyone voted for breathing like the sun course. So that's going to be deep, heavy. I'm even going to set days where we all can vote and commune. And I'm going to hear questions, testimonials, what's actually working for some people here and there, and even build on top of that. This isn't just like course this. This is supposed to be that way. It is going to be very interactive, and I want to hear from people within Breath Family and their experiences and what we can build from that. Because that is one of the biggest conundrums I've had these past years of certifying people, because it just evolves into, working with clientele one-on-one. It just evolves and get better, simplified. So when I do certify people, we're going to have every 3 months type of thing where we all meet up and share experiences, questions, and grow. So that solved that problem. So now it's just moving forward. And the first group of certified people is going to be women, actually. But still, I'm going to invite people from Breath Family. But it's going to be within Sabina's community. And she has thousands of women that I've been blessed to been part of doing some classes in and out over in that community. So that will be the first part. I won't release it publicly first. I'm going to give Breath Family and her community a first go ahead. And then after they're certified men, I'll come out publicly and say, hey, who wants to be certified in alchemy breathwork? So do you believe that breathing is the closest thing to spirit? Yes. If you look at the etymology, spirit literally means breath in Latin. And spirit, in my opinion, doesn't fully mean breath. I feel like breath is the extension of spirit, right? Because it's something that connects our conscious, what we can consciously do, and our subconscious. And in the middle between that is willpower. And that's the beauty of alchemy breathwork, because it's not something you're going to pass out, have seizures, blah, 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 any of that. It's something you can do as long as your will power allows you to. Because when you do certain breathing and cold therapies and stuff like that, your body can only handle so much, and it's shutting off and you're having seizures because it can only handle so much. It's protecting itself. And why do you always want to shock your body like that? Long term, doesn't make sense. Short term, there's so many great health benefits, sure. But I focus more on longevity, long term. What's the song playing? LOL. That is Dune Zuggy. It is on my YouTube if you're in Breath Family. That's another thing. In Breath Family, you get all the breath subliminals for free. You get to download it. I'm going to go over the mental breath work about utilizing sound. I talked about it a little bit, how to utilize the mental breath work. The subliminal breath work music. But in terms of audio-wise, you can do a lot. You can replicate what Nikola Tesla did, when he would go into certain social settings he didn't like going to. He didn't even like handshaking with people here and there, because he could see auras. He can see entities, so to speak. So the man was a little bit paranoid in a sense too. And it would have been nice if he knew more about the breath in that sense, but he does talk about it a little bit. I'm going to release a little clip from his one of the interviews he did. It's very telling. All right, so answered that question. Unleash Your Soul 1. Thank you for the badge, love. Thank you for the badge, love. Can you break down Tesla's 369 method? There's another theory that a lot of people don't talk about. Zero. What if it was actually 069? What do I mean by that? Well, 0 is technically a number. The number scale that you've been taught in school, it's a total lie, in a sense, in terms of the mathematics as we know. We don't include 0, which we actually should. If you would include 0 in certain mathematical structures and problems, especially in physics, one would understand levitation a lot easier. Just like the 0 point, the live stream generator that you see me with the arc and generates energy. That's also coming tomorrow, by the way. This is a super powerful event that it reminded me of the first event I did here. It's like, I don't care who shows up, even if it's one person, two person. Like, I'm doing this because I want to do it. Like, every sound healer, like the first time I did the super sound bath, every sound healer I would talk to, I would ask them like, hey, have you ever thought about having like multiple sound bowl healers all at once? All of them said yes, but I don't see it until I actually did it here in Miami. And I did a few of them, and then it just rippled, and now people are mingling and collaborating. It's a beautiful thing, because there is so much unnecessary ego. So much unnecessary ego. So it was a beautiful thing doing that. Don't know when the next one going to be for sure, but it was beautiful doing that a couple times, a couple events. This one will just be me and Naira. It's still going to be super powerful because Naira has so many instruments. We're going to record everything and just go all out. And everyone who is coming, I am truly honored to share the breath and that moment with you when it happens, because it is going to be truly special, because I've never done some things that the Nile River has taught me that I'm so pumped to do and experience and share. And everyone can definitely bring, what I'm bringing home with them, whether that be the breath, whether that be, what I'm going to share about water in general. Yeah. OMG, you need to check out physicist Dan Winter. I'm familiar with Dan Winter. Yes. Dan Winter also talks a little bit about the zero system. Have you ever seen art crystals by Nassim? Yeah, I've seen them. They're okay. I wear the Paradigm, the same place I got the pyramids from. If you look closely, these have tiny pyramids on them. And what you can also do on the back of them, I can't really open it, but if you go to the website, you'll see the Fibonacci sequence on it too. And when I place this on the scaler, this is one of the first crystals that I own that I've seen. The crystal got lighter and lighter and lighter, which is wild. But if you come to the event, you'll see what else you can do with crystals in general. And I'm not going to talk about it publicly yet. So I hope I answered your questions there. So I guess, did Ramadan start for you guys? Let me know. Does the breath family help with trauma? I have manic episodes. Yes, breath family, yes, to answer your question, the breath will hit deeper than most medicines, because breath is medicine. So breath is something that goes deep into your tissues in general, right? So if you can learn how to program your breath and utilize different breathing patterns, you'd be surprised what comes out. And like I say, that if you want to cry, fart, yell, scream, let it all out. I've seen people even throw up during sessions, which is a good thing because that's releasing. And even, I'm not saying his name, but a really healthy person within the community has like thrown up when I did a session with them. And most of you know who he is. I'm not going to say his name. Are you familiar with Dick Gregory? If so, how do you feel about his teachings? Yeah, I'm familiar with Dick Gregory. I like how he shared the power of fasting in general, but like I said, there's different ways of looking at it. And I love the story that he told with the women who got into it, did it for the first time, and she would walk into certain places and certain lights would just psh, 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 because the energy is flowing. Especially, I'm not going to get into that, but yes, the energy is just flowing. Do you believe type 1 diabetes can be reversed, like where the pancreas starts to produce insulin again? Yes, it can. And you can even use scalar targeting type 1 diabetes specifically. You can transmute all that into your water. That's what I did with the scalar videos, why I started doing scalar video sessions. Because I worked with this guy on Wall Street who didn't have the time to... What I do is I record the actual scalar running thousands of different frequencies that is targeting specifically type 1 diabetes. And not only that, it's not just about the frequency aspect. The scalar in itself gives an energetic resonance of body. So it's beyond the aspect of frequencies. Now you need to look at it as an actual body. So think of like an astral body that you can't really see, but somehow gets transferred through the camera. And if you look at the patent for HD TVs, you can actually transfer scalar. It's even in the patent in itself. You can transfer scalar waves through HDTV. So that gave me the idea of like, people like to say and talk about conspiracies and stuff like, oh, they're doing this with TV, this and that. You can do anything they can do, but the opposite, and use it for healing. So never ever get deterred from what they are doing, or however you want to look at them, whatever. Everyone has powerful energetic resonance to shift their reality and do the complete opposite of what they are doing. Okay? It takes a village, and if we all come together, you'd be surprised what gets accomplished in that sense. Right? So what I did was I tested this out with the Wall Street guy, and he himself was skeptical. Right? So he didn't have time to watch a video, so he just did the breathing practices that we worked on for diabetics in general too, which is very helpful. And when he came home, he would drink the water that was playing the video in front of the water. And in 2 weeks, his insulin levels went down, and the pancreas really started to really work in motion. So when he got less skeptical, he was like, oh man, what else can I do with this? So I'm like, well, if it's going through the screen, I mean, try playing it in your office while you have all the other tabs open. You don't even need to look at the tabs. Let's try it that way. And the first time he did it, it was the first time he's ever felt some calmness in the office. And this is in New York, by the way. So that was like the first time he's ever felt a sense of peace in a hectic office. I can only imagine. So, you know, when I go to these NFT spaces that talk about, oh, we're a spiritual community, this and that, we're for the community, blah, blah, blah. And I tell them, like, hey, you can have a Godzilla video playing and target Paget's disease in the background, and the person doesn't even have to see the video, the scalar video. They can literally see Godzilla or Barbie or whatever the case may be in the video, and they can feel it through the screen. And you would think, you know, these spaces, it would click for them. So if anyone out there ever wants to collab in that sense, I am so open. DM me. Yeah, the scalar sessions, and I do sell my own scalar. So if you want to do this yourself and, you know, help people in your communities, I do sell them. If you're interested, it's devon@alchemybreath.work. Use the subject scalar delivery, and I'll get back to you if you want your own scalar. It's $1,600. If you're shipping outside the US, we ship worldwide. Outside the US, it's $1,900. If you want a scalar video session, we're still doing that. You can go on my website and go under biohacking. It's all right there. And we're still doing pictures for now. I'm gonna retire the pictures soon. When we first started out with the whole scalar stuff and doing stuff remotely, we started with Breath Family. Everyone in Breath Family would send their pictures, and we would put it on the scalar. And what we do, we put a biogeometric blueprint over their picture, and they would feel it remotely. They would feel certain frequencies remotely, and that's only with the first version of the scalar. And then we amplified it where the scalar is actually gold plated. And what's wild is, since more people are, you know, buying the scalars, we're creating our own grid, if you think about it. And that's what scalar is. Scalar is instantaneous. It's interdimensional. It's quantum, right? So everyone has that specific scalar sticker that we also sell too. So if you just want the scalar sticker for yourself, that's also doable. And you can put it on water. You can put it on your car. Put it on different things. Put it on your crystals, you will notice a difference. Or even just, some people, what they did was they bought a whole sheet. Well, that's what it comes with. It comes with a whole sheet. And they just place their crystals on there. And think about it. It's not just me that have on my scalar, but now it's people all over the world playing multiple different healing frequencies, going into that one imagery of that scalar sticker. So anyone who has that scalar sticker, we're literally creating our own energetic grid. Powerful. Where can I learn about scalar if I never heard of it? Go to my YouTube. It's Scalar Info. It's right there. I want to purchase some of your stuff, but it's pretty expensive. Hey, the first time I told everyone the price for the scalar, everyone saw the value in it. So I don't know what you're saying, because there are some ripoffs out there that are selling for $4,000, $6,000. Wild stuff. That's all I gotta say about that. Wild stuff. That it shouldn't even be those prices. It's just like the eye pyramids. The guy that we're bringing tomorrow, his pyramid, and he did a whole apprenticeship, right? And I don't even feel like it's my place to even talk about it that much, but basically the pieces to make what you're seeing on those websites that cost like thousands and $25,000 for no reason are really cheap. They're like hundreds of dollars. But to each their own. Everyone is, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, at least it's in the public, right? Like these type of devices, these healing devices, at least you're in the public, you know, because there was once upon a time where you talk about certain things, they'd be knocking at your door, be like, hey, you can't talk about this, and certain things happen. So we are now at a beautiful point in time that, you know, I'm not gonna hate on anything like that. At least it's in the public, right? At least everyone. It's just like a Kangen machine. Some people think that Kangen machine shouldn't be its price, but some people. It all depends on how you view value, right? You know, my thing is, if it helps in any way, then whatever price it's priced at is justifiable, in my humble opinion. And this is someone that has been homeless before, all right? So, yeah. Value is value. And I think, you know, that's the type of reality we should start to acknowledge, more of the value rather than the Nike shirt that doesn't heal you. Why are we not valuing a kimono that you can wear that is actually healing you and lowering inflammation? Why aren't, you know, the psychology, people aren't seeing the connecting dots. You want to value Gucci and Prada and all these things up here that barely really don't do anything for you in a sense, but just work on your status. But what about your health? You know, so you're more focused on your status than your actual health. It's like, come on now. And the thing is, with the scaler, you can literally, if some people are new here, you can literally type in bone growth, type 1 diabetes, hair growth in a sense, and make your own program list and have the scaler targeting that. And the beautiful thing is, the scaler it doesn't even need to be loud. There's no sound. You can even put a crystal on there, though. The crystal will actually start singing, and that's how you know the scaler is actually emitting clean energy in that sense to get crystals to sing. Listen, you can get a whole wire and wrap around a crystal and plug it into an outlet. It's not going to sing because that's dirty electricity. So when you put the crystal or an obelisk onto a scaler, especially this type of scaler, because this scaler is actually gold plated with other composite materials. It's a custom made that I worked out with this manufacturer, and it's doing wonders. And I'm really happy that it has evolved the way it has evolved. And we're only getting started, because tomorrow we're going to take it up a notch. And I'll be sending out an email list very, very soon about the water aspect with scaler. For those who already bought a scaler, you are going to see some wild things, because, you know, the whole thing with water, you know, there was some guy who, not guy, but there's an individual that comes to my events a lot, and he said the main thing you're missing here is the water. He doesn't know how I would integrate it, why, but the main thing, you have all the other elements, but you're missing water. And then it just clicked, because when we turn on the scaler and we have one of our water equipment over there, it reacts to it. There we go. It reacts to it, and it's only when we turn on the scaler. So we know for a fact. It's mainly when I went to the Nile for myself, though. The Nile just clicked everything, doing breath work doing alchemy breathwork on the Nile on top of the cruise. The information in the atmosphere and the water, everything was clicking. And seeing what I saw when you go up the Aswan, where all the water is coming from the pyramids and why they did what they did, it just made sense. And especially seeing the thing vortex in broad daylight. I'm like, it's still going. It's still going. Even if the pyramids aren't even active anymore, it's still going. And that was only one element of what I saw. I saw so many other things to even the hue. And people who don't even have the sight, and what I mean by sight, like see auras or just in the know type of thing, right? They would say certain things that connected what, some people within our group were seeing and feeling. So it was just a beautiful thing to witness. And like I said, witnessing, breathing it, touching it, walking the earth around those spaces beyond ideologies and hypotheses and stuff like that. It's a total different ball game. And if you have the library, trust me, certain things will start to click, and you'll start to discard what certain people are saying and stuff like that, and it'll start making more sense to you. And that was just 1 week. I was only there for 1 week. One day though, 1 day was just enough. Not enough, but it was just a lot. Just 1 day there is a lot. I feel like that space, not even 1 month, you need to be there. Like, if you're actually being consistent and you're going to these, different spots, I would say 3 to 4 months tops, for real, if you can. Hey, if you want to bring me along with you, fly me out there with you, I am so open. Just putting the invitation out there. Now that things are quote unquote dying down and you don't need, certain things, going certain places, I can finally say that, hey, if you want to fly me out, I'm so open. It's been a while though. I've flown inside the US to help people fast and do different things. So I'm open to that. I'm still open to that. Closer retiring in that aspect. So I know a girl that drank from the Amazon River, and I would love to learn about the scalar benefits on water. Yeah, the scalar will do things Kangen cannot do. Because you can be very specific with scalar. Been looking into Merkabahs and astral travel. I'm not collaborating with Kangen water. I don't know. What do you mean by that? I don't know. All right, can the scalar be programmed for thyroid? Yeah. I would get up right now, but I'm naked, and show you the laptop. So the scalar comes with a laptop, the generator, and there's going to be brand new components in it. I think that's totally fair. We might bump the price because of the brand new components, because I think it's fair. Because there's only like certain limitations I'm finally seeing within what people want to do with it, because they keep on asking me. So I'll be making an updated video with that, and if anybody wants to upgrade their stuff too with the new scalars, that they have the new scalars, you can upgrade to another piece that you'll see in your email. Tips on Merkaba and astral projection, quantum breathing. quantum breathing, because you are astral projecting right now, whether you realize it or not. Nothing is truly stagnant, right? So there's a ripple going back and forth that is happening right as we speak. It is what gives you your aura. When you have certain lenses, you can see that ripple off anyone with a life force and a pulse. So the more you can breathe awareness into those spots, and the whole category of quantum breathing taps into that. Okay. Can you explain the nose whistle? So the nose whistle, it's 528 hertz. It's on my website. And you know what else was in my bag now that I'm getting reminded of it? Frankincense. I dipped this into pure frankincense. The essential oils over there is so pure, you can actually ingest it if you want. You can actually burn it if you want. I also learned from them, you get a hot water. It doesn't even need to be that hot. You put one drop in there, the whole room. And that showed me how much chemicals or how much degraded these essential oils here in America is, like, for real. Egypt, if you can find a connect in Egypt has the real deal. Or I like to say Kemet. Kemet has the real deal. These essential oils, I'm looking at these essential oils as like only 10% of what it's truly capable of. And it's sad because, I asked him, like, hey, do you guys do worldwide shipping? He's like, oh, yeah, we do. It's just going to cost a little bit more. But, yeah, we do that if you want to order in bulk, this and that. I'm like, oh, I'm all for it. We're putting that in Nature Herself products. But the sad part is, those type of places should be here. They should be everywhere, honestly. Everywhere. Like, straight from the farm, you don't really hear too much about that. But even the most top graded essential oils I've been introduced, at least here, they don't compare. I'm sorry. They don't compare. Melissa, if you're watching, they don't compare, sis. They don't compare. You can come up and smell my nose whistle if you come tomorrow. And man, it's been what? 10 days, 10 long days since I put it on. I put it on it. 10 long days, and it still smells super fresh as if I put it on it today. That's wild. That's wild. And you can tell that people who are in that industry just has a hue to them. Even if they don't eat healthy enough or whatever, you can tell they still just have a hue to them based off the helping of the essential oils. It's very interesting. Yeah, you can do that. I do that. Not just one, I can do. So you can do alternate if you want. Yes, I'm very. I know one of the top boards of Young Living, and actually Young Living came. doTERRA is a daughter or the son of Young Living essential oils. Basically, Young Living came first, basically. But yeah, Even Young Living, I'm sorry, they don't compare. They don't compare to that fresh pressed, man. You'll never smell frankincense. And trust me, I've been around long enough and smelled different essential oils here and there. A lot. Even like the highest grade, nothing compares. I'm telling you, nothing compares. So if you go down there, if you have a genuine tour guide or a genuine person, they will bring you to the best spots of essential oils. What exactly does the nose whistle do? Well, it helps calm the environment. When I was even in the pyramids, I would actually play it. And everyone was looking around like, where's that coming from? Because they don't allow you to do certain meditations and stuff. So when it's filled with crowded people, I'm like, I'm going in on this. And I'm resonating this energetic spot. So I had a lot of fun. I went into the corners and I did it. The corners of these temples, corners in general. If you're into sound healing, pay attention to the corners, please. Corners is the foundation of your environment, right? No matter where you go, there is a corner. And that can actually help people who have anxiety or social anxiety, utilizing corners and vertical breathing for the corners. So, oh my gosh. I went over the 1 hour mark, so I feel like I am out of IG jail. Is today the first day? Can you guys tag me now? I wonder. Yeah, because normally it would stop, but I went over the 1 hour mark, so I guess IG has taken me out of jail. My heart. Can you shout them out again? I missed it. I'm not sure what you mean. Tried earlier but couldn't. Oh, so I guess maybe some privileges are finally being brought back, but that's interesting. What were you talking about to be on the IG jail? When I talked about using scalar to detoxify from certain things, I'm not even going to make any hand gestures, movement gestures, but you can put 2 and 2 together. That's all I'm going to say. And it's when I started talking about that's when they went ham and locked it down. The power of the nose whistle got out of IG jail. That's a funny one. On the settings, you can choose who can tag you. No, it doesn't work like that. If you try to make a post about me or try tagging me, it's going to say, can't because he goes against community guidelines, such and such. So, we shall see. Where you get essential oils from? Nature herself might be partnering with an Egypt supplier. So I feel like it's so needed because I went on Etsy, I went on different places and looked for what I saw in Egypt, so I know what specifically to look for and not get ripped off. Because I saw some reviews and this and that. I'm like, I knew that would happen. So you gotta really know these places directly, and if you've actually been there and experience, like, like, oh, this is a real deal. Okay, that type of thing. So I feel like I'm gonna talk with Jen. It's our duty to really share the genuine stuff for real. I feel like everyone should get a whiff of what real frankincense and myrrh and all these oils that were anointed as holy, so to speak, and what Blue Lotus really smells like. The oil, man. Yeah. What lowers testosterone? Yeah, what? Frankincense lowers testosterone levels. I'm not sure about that one. Myrrh also. What's your question? What does frankincense help with? Okay, and myrrh also. They have different use cases, but honestly, if it's pure and it's pressed, like all these oils, they're all beneficial in so many different ways. They even have really pure black seed oil. Everyone was taking drips and tasting that. They were like, man, it doesn't taste like this and that. I'm like, yeah. I always put it on my third eye. Yeah, I put black seed oil on my third eye. Well, they're black seed oil. I don't really use black seed oil, but when I was in Egypt, that was really fun, and it was so different because the ones, I forgot what brands I used to use back then, but when I put it on my skin, the black seed oil, and listen, you can put, this is not just your third eye. Your third eye, you can start putting it on top of your head. You can mainly aim for that sweet spot in the back. That is like the softest spot you can touch in the back. That is your direct connection. Not this where there's like a hard skull, but the direct connection to that soft spot in the middle. That is your pineal gland. When you work with light therapists and light healers that use certain light devices and stuff like that, they won't really just put it here like the real ones, like the people who really know what they're doing. The people who know that shining in your belly button type of thing, using certain light therapies for certain things, like the people who really know their stuff, they'll put it here because they know it's not here, it's here. And even when I do the eye thing, if you can really, the point is, the more you can do it, especially with, I like to call it third eye breathing. It's not just what they call it. It's just the Hindus call it the Shivambu mudra, or whatever they call it, the mudra, in the sense where you're just gazing up. If you can build contrast and not just strain your eyes like that, you can go even deeper, to the point where the deeper you go, you'll start to feel it's not just here you're really aiming towards. There's a certain nerve that really connects, and you'll start to feel, especially when your head is like tilted to a certain degree, that part, that back, will start to stimulate. When the eyes go deeper and deeper within the skull, the back will start to stimulate, and it creates like a pull. And that is your direct connection to the pineal gland. Never heard of a light therapist. So many, yeah, they're out there. You can even take certifications for it. Can't you compare essential oils to food? Simplified food, good food nourishes the body. Trace starts fire. That's what they said. Okay. Where to go purchase the scaler? Email me at devon@alchemybreath.work with the subject scalar delivery. Okay, guys, I'm about to hop off. You're using red light therapy right now? Yeah. You can find so many useful tools on my website. alchemybreath.work/biohacking. It's all there. What do you think of Seven Bomar work? I don't know what to think. I've heard of him. You know, there's so much knowledge out there, but I really focus on what can I apply. As Bruce Lee would say, take what useful, throw the rest away. And I'll leave it like that. So, you know where I'm going with that one. Sweet dreams. All right, guys. Have a breathful day, night. If I can, I will see if I can stream. Well, now that we're going over the 60-minute mark, I might be able to stream tomorrow's event. We'll see. Now that trip, it's going to be recorded with professional microphones and stuff like that. The video aspect would be nice to share. But I might give you when we set up everything, I might just go live a little bit, and then the event will start. But if you're in Breath family, you will definitely get the recording and experience that. All right, guys. Thank you all for sharing the breath. Peace and harmony.